Hello, everybody. We are going to take a chance on a Guilds of Ravnica draft here. It was a tight vote on the polls, tied, so I decided to break the tie towards the format that's going to go away soon and where we still have some rare work to do, so I wouldn't mind picking up some booster packs and continuing to fill out my Guilds collection on this account, which this account started in the middle of the Guild season, so it's a little low on Guilds. But if you want a place that's not low on guilds, you're going to check out Card Kingdom. They're high on guilds and every other Magic set that's literally ever been printed, because one of Card Kingdom's great strengths is their inventory and their dedication to keeping it well stocked. If they are out of a card, they aggressively buy it, so that when you go to Card Kingdom, you're going to find what you're looking for. You're basically going to be able to buy. They want you to be able to show up at Card Kingdom and buy your deck all there and not have to go anywhere else. And it's convenient, and you know what you're getting. The grading is excellent. You're going to get the grade you asked for or better, and they ship really fast too. It just shows up on your door way faster than you think. And if you want to buy any paper Magic products, please do so from Card Kingdom through my affiliate link down below in the panels. That really helps out my stream. I want to thank Card Kingdom for supporting my stream, though I really appreciate it. We don't have the gold to jump into this for a gold cost, but we are going to pay the $750 in gems and see what we can do. Everybody knows I love Dimir in this format, but I'm perfectly capable of taking a Nightveil Predator first and not looking back. Let's see. We have 3 of 4 Vivid Revivals. I actually don't care about playing this. Like, I'm more interested in since I'm probably not going to 4X the rares completely. I'm more interested in rare drafting like constructed playables. So we're going to, I'm going to just follow my heart here and take the Nightveil Predator. Can't pass it. And we get to pick up a rare anyway. If there's anything I like more than a Nightveil Predator, it's 3 of them. So how about we quasi-duplicate and be ready to work on that aspect. Maybe wheel this Dazzling Lights. Here's a Healer's Hawk that you could, if you're into the Boros guild, like if we found a great Boros pick first, might even be justified. I think the Healer's Hawk is one of the most important cards in the Boros deck. When that comes down on 1, I can get a little under the collar. Oh, Redemption, sorry. I gotta keep an eye on that. I saw the word Chillbringer, but I didn't see, it's very, I should show you what it looks like on my, I get this tiny little thing on my, my chat. So anyway, thank you for helping me keep an eye on that. So of course you can get a Chillbringer.
All right, everyone, chill.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this isn't a Windmill Slam Bomb, but it's pretty darn good. There's a lot of good uncommons, though, that with bots with color preferences could absolutely take over that. I think we just take Phantasm here. We don't have the Surveil yet, but let's take the Phantasm and start finding our Surveil. It's a great turn 1 play, and it holds the ground until it becomes your win condition. It's really nice. For the memes, if we were again there is a good Boros deck going around. We could, if we had been on the Boros plan, we have a Bodyguard in this pack. Bodyguard's much better than Burglar Rat, but Burglar Rat slides in. What else? Is there any? And we could take a Bodyguard on the chance that we end up not playing Jameer and we play Is It instead. But I think the Rat is good enough to just take it and try and be Dimir. Signet. Or Locket. No, I'm not into the, I'll play a Locket sometimes when I know my colors, but I don't think this, we definitely take the Rat. We could take another 2 in Child of Night or a decent 3 in the Gorgon. Probably on curve reasons, I'll just take the Child of Night. Gorgon is fine, but it's double black for us, so I'm just going to take Child. It's fine. Hey, Orion Bat. Love to hear when YouTube friends make it live. Glad you're here. Welcome. This isn't our wheel where I'm hoping to get a Dazzling. We can get a Crab for 4 or another Child. Or we can take a Guild Gate on the chance we splash some green. Sometimes you get a nice gold Golgari card that you want to play. And Crab is very playable, yes. I like 1 or 2 Crabs in my Dimir decks. The question is whether we need to pick this up now. Because you also want a lot of 2-drops. But I don't know how many Night Children we actually want. It's pretty vulnerable with its 1 toughness. Look at the power you wield, D. All right, what are we taking here? I also love a Dazzling Lights, though. We have the Thoughtbound Phantasm. Thing is, I think we're going to wheel another one of these, and I'm not sure how many we want to do. I would run 2, probably not 3, and I think we're going to get 1 out of a wheel. So yeah, I'm going to go with first Crab here. Hey, Adrian, glad you made it here. Pick 7 Darkblade. That's a fine place to pick up a Darkblade agent. This Pass Wall is also a fine 2 and has the higher toughness that I kind of like for 2s in Dimir. And here's the Dazzling we expected to wheel, which I'll take over the Centipede. Centipede is pretty generic, but love to have the Dazzling. Oh, no, this isn't a wheel. This is pick 8. So I still expect to get another Dazzling. Sorry, this is pick 8. Also, I can go to draft view. Plaza, I hope we don't have to run a Plaza. I really only want to run Plazas if we're at least 3 color. Here's another Child of Night number 2 or Dazzling Lights number 2. Now that we have a Darkblade agent as well, and I hope to pick up some more Surveil synergy, I'm going to take Dazzling number 2, but it all needs a cooldown, Raptor. I mean, I appreciate, like, what I need to do is I want to figure out how to give feedback to Twitch, because I honestly think channel points as a custom reward creation system for me, for my viewers, is currently garbage. Because the only thing they let me cap is the number of times globally that one thing can be redeemed per stream. So all that does is incentivize everybody to rush to pay, rush to cap the reward at the beginning of the stream. Like, well, the cost doesn't need to be absurdly high. The cost, I just need better cap system. I need to be able to say, every individual can do 3 meme machines per stream. Every individual can do 3, if I can do that, then that would be great. No, I didn't. We totally did not set a date, by the way. But what are we taking here? Oh yeah, I was going to take Dazzling Lights number 2 because I really want to work the Surveil synergy eventually, although we're getting a little cut off here. It's only pack 1, but I try not to play Walls of Mist if I can help it, but sometimes you can't help it. It just doesn't, it's not proactive at all and can be attacked through by multiple creatures. I like a defensive creature that actually threatens to kill some stuff in combat, like the Crab. Boros wide open, so if we had found a sweet Boros uncommon, might have a nice Boros deck. Second Quasi-Duplicate, which we're going to take. Try and wheel this Informant or the Guild Gate or the Crab. Take any of these Dimir cards on the wheel would be fine. We're going to go with Our goal is to make 5 Night Veil Predators this draft. That's the plan. This is lousy. There's an Unward Ego. Might just take... We got 2 or 4 of those. No, the Ego's not good, and it's not even gems for this account because I don't think we're ever going to play guilds enough to 4x our rares. So, on the one hand, but Unward Ego is a decent constructed card, so I might take it just so that my account has access to it for constructed. Yeah, we could take Sphere too. I hate the Sphere as removal. I'm going to take gems because I hate the Sphere. I'm going to take, not even gems, I'm going to take rares for constructed over removal that I hate. I'm going to believe. We're going to find removal. Disdainful Stroke is good, but we only have 1 Emara, so I'm just going to have to let Emara go, I think. We're never going to 4x this, so in this case I'll take Disdainful Stroke over the Muse Drake. Although this probably wheels. I don't really like playing the Drake either if I can help it. You can do worse, but it's pretty clunky, and the draw card, you know, salvages it, but it's not a priority. That being said, I do think the Stroke is likely to wheel. So, well, I'm going to take the Stroke because it's not mediocre. This is good. I actively want this in the deck, and I just don't even care that much whether we end up with one of those Drakes in our deck. And I like the Imp more than most, it seems. I don't know. I'm going to take the Imp. I like it. I like that on 1 a lot. Necrotic Wound I have found very difficult to make work effectively, so we're just going to take another Darkblade. I really want to find some more Surveil, and here is a Surveil card that is really, you know, we're best of 1, so we don't get to bring this in the board, but it does turn on our Darkblade agents. It makes our Thoughtbound Phantasm big, and it really wrecks Boros. But I also like a Guildgate. Yeah, I don't know where the black removal is. We're gonna have to find that in 3, I hope, but I'm gonna pull this one. Do you like a Guildgate or the Vapors? Gate or Vapors? Casting your spells is really nice, and we do have a Night Veil Predator. If we want to reliably drop this on like 4, we're going to need some gates, but if we want to reliably beat Boros, we're going to need some Vapors, so tough to say. Most want the gate. I think with a Night Veil Predator, that kind of that makes sense and puts it over the top. Also, Quasi Duplicate is a double blue, so we have some demands on us here. We can grab a Gorgon, again at 3, never happened at 3, or another 1 toughness, somewhat mediocre 2, although Mesmerist rose in my estimation over the course of the format. It didn't look like much, but it could create some attacks that just didn't exist otherwise. Yeah, Vapors is a non-bow with some of our creatures right now, but that's why I hope, like, if we could get more, you know, 1/3s at 2, then that's another reason we want the 1/3s in Dimir so that you can run the Vapors. We're also doing okay at 2. But I do like Mesmerist. I'm going to take Mesmerist. I'm going to lean into the low curve choices here because you just end up with random 3s like this. You know, Centipede is totally unexciting but playable, and we'll take it now. And yeah, it's better in Izzet, but it can be surprisingly good. I have found even in Dimir is what I'm saying. I'll take second Crab here over a second Centipede. Don't like to play these barriers. It does have Surveil, but I need to have a lot of Surveil payoffs before I'm happy to play a Barrier of Bones. Well, I feel like this draft hasn't been going great, but we do have, you know, 18 playables at the end of pack 2, so it's not awful. It's just I got greedy and took a rare over the crappy removal. So what we really want to see out of the next pack is some removal. And some card draw too. Like another thing that's going on here is that we have this as kind of build your own card draw, but we want some Notion Reigns and some basic removal. All right, big pack 3, here we go. Well, here's a mythic Dimir card that doesn't do really anything. Let's see, is it worth... We've only got 1 of 4 of these anyway, so we're not getting gems out of this. We're just going to take dead weight. If this were an account where we were 4xing, I would have the discipline to take 40 gems here, even in the face of our desperate need for removal. But in the case of this isn't going to be gems. It's just going to be a card for constructed if I want it, and I don't need it that much. Whatever, we'll take dead weight. Try to find us... Ooh, so here's a Vapors, but I think I like the Disappearance. Here's a Gate too. The Gates aren't wheeling these days, so Mausoleum Secret's not really playable, and we have 2 of 4 there, so it's not even worth gems for us yet. Disappearance, Vapors, or Gate. Are we bold enough to try and just wheel this Vapors? I kind of want to take the Disappearance here. And it works a lot with what we've got. Gives us some payoffs. Darkblade, a great play is Darkblade Agent on 3. Disappear something that's going to block it on 4. Surveil, get the extra card. Okay, well, we'll see what we wheel. Maybe we wheel, we'll probably wheel a Shade, if not the Vapors. And in a long shot dream, we wheel the Guild Gate, but I'm not holding my breath. Stroke number 2. Veiled Shade number 1, Necrolisk, or Gate. Here I just want the Gate. I think we might wheel this, but 2 or 3 gates would be perfect for this deck, so let's grab it. Really helps with this Predator a lot. Another Disappearance, but another Darkblade. Let's look at curve. I think we can go for a 3rd Darkblade here. Yeah, the 3 BB removal is what we really want to see, and we're just not seeing it. Just not. Creeping Chill isn't a real card. In Limited, we'll take Dowser, which is... I do love a splashed Sizzle in the old Dimir deck, but we don't have the red splash. All right, here's... well, I like the Poisoner, but I think Surveil is important enough to us now, especially with 3 Darkblade agents, that we're definitely on the Informant. Enhanced Surveillance could help us not lose in a grindy mirror, but we can just take a 3rd gate. What's our playable count? I'm just putting these in the board. So we have 22. I'm basically okay with playing any of these. I'd love to upgrade this Wall of Mist. Centipede, not amazing, but everything else is kind of like what I want to be doing with a deck like this. I don't think 3 is too many gates. I think 3 is about perfect. I like... Steven, it's a little sad to main deck Vapors, and if we were best of 3, I wouldn't. But Boros is kind of the deck to beat in this format, and it's kind of the deck to beat on Arena. I drafted guilds offline over the weekend, drafted a Boros deck, and played mostly Boros mirrors. So it's just such a common thing to face that you risk drawing the blank to have the blowout against one of the format's boogeymen. No, I don't particularly like this. I saw Ben Stark play it in his Dimir deck, best of 1, but he had much more Surveil going on, and I think he was hedging against getting milled out. So I'm going to take that, and we'll try and close out with... well, here's a Guild Gate we could have splashed with, but we're going to stay focused. Also, don't really want to splash when we've got a Night Veil Predator. Well, here's a Wall of Mist number 2. Don't think we're going to play it. Veiled Shade number 1 over Mesmerist number 3. The Mesmerists actually get really nice in multiples. Like if you go turn 2, turn 3 Mesmerist, suddenly Oppo loses 4 of their defense power. It actually does some work, but yes, I do think it's pretty easy shade. I don't love this card, but in a deck like this where we failed to get some dramatic, like Night Veil Predator is kind of our win condition here, but that's sketchy because sometimes they just have a 3/4 flyer and it's not really your win condition. It's just something that's going to trade. Veiled Shade is something that can get there in the end, you know? Thank you for that sub. So we'll take Shade. Here's another Shade, but I don't think we want 2. Especially since we have a Dowser. Like, 1 Dowser, 1 Shade seems fine. And I don't think we're playing Necrolisk, but I'll take it on the chance we decide to. Put these back in. Well, got a couple of cuts, and then we got what we got. 18-7. If we didn't have a Veiled Shade, I might be compelled to run a Desperation Necrolisk for something that can get big, but it doesn't get that big. I think our real win con is Predator plus a bunch of quasi-duplicates. Or, yeah, no takedowns, like, no, we didn't get the uncommon removal. We missed a lot of key cards for this archetype. So this feels like, a Night Veil Predator aside, a pretty weak version of the old Dimir deck here. Not super happy with it. But let's make a couple of cuts and see what we can do. I'm looking at some number of these 2s. We're going to keep these 2, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if this is our collection of 6 2s that we want. Well, maybe we just cut a Centipede and maybe 1 Crab since we have the Dowser. And then we just keep all the 2s. Maybe like this. I really don't like the double Wall of Mist, though. I really want to cut one of those. Maybe go back to that. Yeah, you might be right that even this is just better. I'm just so... This is... Walls of Mist tend to only do work when you're facing the 4/4 deck, you know, Selesnya. But we have the old 4/5 for that and 2 2/5s. So we have 3 cards that have 5 toughness inherently. So it's not super important to have these walls anyway. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go with this. And I do like just a straight up 7/7/3 on that. And we're going to call this... we're a little disappointed. We wanted more Surveil. Since we didn't get as much Surveil as we want, so I'm going to call it no peeking. We just don't have that much Surveil. Like, how are we going to get, like, Phantasm starts at a 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6, and that's where it stops unless we want to start quasi-duplicating our Informant. It's not great. Yeah, I really don't want to run a Barrier of Bones just to get an extra trigger. I think we take the Surveil we have and go to battle. Phantasm for a land? No, I still love the Phantasm. Even if we only get it to a 4/4 or whatever, that's fine. Are you talking about the same one? I'm talking about Phantasm. You felt like there's a conflation of Phantasm and Predator. Yeah, I don't love this. We'll see how it goes. I can do a par vote if you're interested. Hold on. It's your par poll. And I'm going to update format and we'll get going. On average, how many matches do you think this deck will win? That's all par means. What is your average expectation of the performance of this deck? All right. We got gate into gate to solidify our mana, and then we move into Darkblade Agent, and if it survives, the Informant and the Dazzling Lights turn it on. Huh. I'd be really surprised if that's true, Stratic, just because it was never ever part of our plan to do any kind of card quality based matchmaking in Limited. I just expect that it's, again, more symptomatic of the bots forcing players into very similar decks. I don't know what you mean, Tron. Like, people kind of know about it. It should be there in your menu. But, oh man, this is great. We get in, we get to make them choose here. We just play our Dimir Informant, and then they have to choose between, all coming up Millhouse here. We get to check that. We get to Thoughtbound Phantasm, Dimir Informant for the Surveil, and then Oppo chooses between losing their Wood Shaper or giving us a card. We don't need land anymore. Do we need a Child? I'm going to say no on the Child. I don't think that's what this is going to be about, this game, so let's bin both of those and keep digging. Selesnya can be a real deck. I mean, it's kind of my least favorite guild, and I don't draft it a lot, but I will say that the bots agree, and therefore, basically, Selesnya is almost always open. So you're going to get the best Selesnya deck in the pod if you kind of lean into Selesnya. And often the best Selesnya deck in the pod, an uncontested Selesnya deck is often good enough to compete in this format. So yeah, we don't want to get too cocky about facing Selesnya. Oh, no updates. I haven't reached out to communicate to them yet, Tron. It's just a feature in development, so I just want to make sure to get my feedback into them. All right, we have Quasi-Duplicate, which means we need to have expendables. We got to stop playing our land at some point to pitch to the Jumpstart. We could just Quasi-Duplicate the Dimir Informant, but I think we just want to drop our Darkblade Agent first. Definitely going to play a Swamp. And definitely going to attack with a Darkblade Agent, and if they double block, then yeah, we'll do some dazzling here and get them both. Disdainful Stroke is pretty good against Selesnya. A lot of their power comes from ramping to, you know, bigger stuff, so we'll keep Disdainful Stroke. Thank you, No Land Go. Always love to go back on LR and catch up with Marshall and talk Magic. I could have attacked with the informant as well, yes. In some ways, I wanted to not give them any ideas about... I wanted them to do that double block, and it felt more likely that they would, if it being the sole attacker. And also, these games with Dimir never come down... never say never. Dimir rarely comes down to that extra point of damage that you missed or didn't go for. It comes down to whether or not you fully control the board or not. Well, now, I wish we had instant speed surveil. We do not, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the Dimir informant just to trigger our surveil. It's pretty important this turn. It makes the Thoughtbound Phantasm 5/5 and can attack through the Foragers, and then both Dark Blade agents are damned if they do, damned if they don't. Ooh, here we go. Let's go with Disappearance on top, and then Deadweight underneath that even. That looks good to me. Because we'll get that Disappearance this turn no matter what Oppo does. We could even send the Dimir informant here and say, if you want to trade for it, that's fine. Like, this might be a spot where it's like, I'd be quite thrilled if they let both of these through and the 5/5, so I'll go ahead and say, go ahead and eat the informant if you'd like to. If the Foragers would like some informant lunch, they got it. Good play for Oppo, but I like where we ended up here. We're going to get to draw twice. We only lost our 1-drop. Let's keep in mind that cost us a 1-drop. And now we have... I'll just deadweight this. I'm going to play the Swamp, deadweight it to kill it. And then we have Disdainful Stroke for whatever they might do. Well, whatever big they might do, that is. And that's not big, but we have the Disappearance for that. I do want to stop playing lands. That was my plan, but to do everything I wanted to do there, which was to deadweight the 4/4 and to leave up Disdainful Stroke, I needed to play lands, but now we'll stop. If I can remember. It's really hard for me not to just throw that out there because reasons. All right, we're going to just go to Disappearance here on the Recluse and hope to double draw off the agents again and bin that Swamp. Basically makes it a 3-for-1. It's true, but only, like, this is, I think, is our only Surveil creature D, so to do the quasi-duplicate to increase our Surveil plan, we have to have the Dimir Informant around, and that's not guaranteed. Okay, they're scooping it up. I was going to play one land so that I could drop the Centipede and keep Stroke up. That was my plan there. Thanks, I missed that. We'll get you to the Vandal now. Thanks, Tron.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
And thank you, Razor, for keeping me honest. Ooh, Dealer's Choice. What haven't we done in a while? How about... we've done most of them recently. I guess we'll go with this one. I haven't seen Mama here today, but this is for Mama. We are going to keep this one. We have the double Mesmerist, which I was talking about during the draft. Hopefully I'll show you now what I mean, that 2 Mesmerists can actually do some significant work on attacks. It is kind of weird though. It's cross purposes. Like our deck's not really trying to be beat down, which is why somebody else responded that Mesmerist is much better in Is It, which is true because you are trying to do a little more beat down in Is It. But you'll take your licks when you can get them, and often double Mesmerist gives you quite a few. All right. This is good. I was trying to decide whether we were going to play second Mesmerist and not be efficient with our mana, or play Informant or Centipede and be efficient with our mana. Phantasm lets us do both. We get to play Phantasm. I'll tackle the Mesmerist first. They're not going to block with their O2. And then I get to do both. We still get to use all our mana and play double Mesmerist. Stratic asks, do you think there could be some random generator creating bot picks daily such that people end up with similar decks at similar times? No. I don't think that's realistic, because that sounds like work on... That's them doing work on bot drafting in a direction that doesn't really make any sense. And I just don't think they would do that. And then not tell us about it either. And so this is what I mean. We get like the old double Mesmerist doing its thing. I can play the Informant, and then I guess it finds us a land for the Dowser. So yeah, I'm going to play Informant, but we don't need to do that yet. I think it's just variance, man. But I can't see them having added, you know, added those kinds of tools, you know, that kind of system. And doing anything to intentionally increase the chances of mirror matches just seems ill-advised. Not that a company can't make mistakes on that front, but again, I think they would have at least told us about it, for one thing. All right, I'm going to go Informant. I'd like to find a land for turn 5 so we can go into the Dowser. Ooh, we don't find the land, but there is a Deadweight. Pretty tempting to just take the Deadweight. The Darkblade Agent, not bad either, but then we're pretty far away from Dowser. Does that matter? And the other problem with the Darkblade as it currently stands is we don't have any Surveil triggers, so I'm going to Graveyard the Agent, but we'll leave the Deadweight. Deadweight's too good. Yeah, we get to Deadweight the 3/2, and then this 2/2 still can't do anything on this board, and we still get to slide in the Centipede. I didn't mention that about keeping the Deadweight, but while we don't get Dowser immediately, we do get a 2-spell turn, and a pretty good one. Yeah, there's 2 more agents in the deck. Maybe we'll find them once we have more to do. Okapi is not great. It has the classic problem of the 3/2, which is that it just trades down all the time. And generally, for a 3/2 that trades down all the time, you want it to do something on death or something on ETB. You know, you want to get some sort of extra value out of your 3/2 for 3. Keyword Vigilance is not the kind of value we're talking about. It just ends up trading down too much. It's not unplayable, though. It's not, you know, you don't have to be embarrassed if you find yourself needing to play one for curve reasons or creature reasons. But it's definitely not good. Yeah, I knew it's classically that if you're running it, you don't need to be embarrassed, but you also probably didn't have the draft you were looking for. I always forget to switch out of the defaults. At least the Rebecca Guay lands are pretty sweet. Well, we got our land for the Dowser, and still not seeing... Still have great attacks. Did that exile it? Oh, it exiled it. It's like, why didn't we get a counter? That's why. Well, I'm glad the Mesmerists are at least showing what I was talking about. They seem unassuming, but they can take your weird Dimir deck and suddenly make it aggro just because Oppo literally has no blocks. Yeah, I watched Deathsea play and it's like, you can't do that, sir. That's not... Oh, wait. Oh, he's winning. What? That's not fair. Why can't I do that? Well, Ferox is pretty beastly to get through, but I was just going to say, what we need to do is find our air support, and we did. Don't have attacks now, but we're going to play the Predator and just try and get there with the Predator. And we can also pay 2 and shrink this down to a 2/6 in case that's relevant to our attacking purposes. Although it looks like they're gumming up the ground pretty nicely now, and we're a bit all in on the Predator. See what they come up with. And apparently they have literal 0 to deal with that. I know those feels. I know those scoops. Were they Dobbs? If so, I wasn't looking. Like, we had 3... No, I don't think so. They had 3 blocks on the ground. There's no way they were dead on board. I just think they felt they didn't have an answer to the flying hexproof. Oh yeah, so yeah, we couldn't even attack with one of ours. Good point. All right, starting 2-0 with the Mademir. Thanks for the recommendation, Stratic. Maybe I'll go watch some old broadcasts from the Ham TV. Are they a good streamer? Explain themselves well? Is it educational streaming? You learn a lot? All right. Well, we got a mythic something opponent here. And we're missing one of our colors. We don't have a play until effectively turn 4 with this hand. If we find a swamp, it's just okay. If we find a swamp, we have a surveil-free Darkblade agent and a Veiled Shade we have a little bit too early. I hate mulliganing on the play. It's just so hard to go down 2 cards to your opponent. I'm going to mulligan this. You get to keep this one. Looks a lot better to me. Might even ditch this Shade. It's just too early for the Shade to matter. If we get to Dowser mana, we'll be really happy with it. I think I want all 3 lands, the Deadweight and the Rat. So then it's whether or not we want the Shade to be sure we have something to do on like 3, or whether we want to play towards the longer game and have a bigger threat like a Dowser. If we get stuck on land, we'll wish we had the Shade. But if we get any kind of land flow, we'll wish we had the Dowser. So I'm going to pitch the Shade. I think we need some land to win this, so I'm going to count on the thing we need to win happening and keep the dowser. Honestly, I don't watch too many other streamers. I'm trying to do more of that to improve my own craft, but I get so distracted with the rest of life once I stop streaming that I don't stream too much. But basically everybody I raid entertains me. I bet, you know, so I don't have a clear favorite, but I could run you my list of lots of people that I have appreciated. But yes, it's meme time here.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Well, we're getting the land as hoped, but nothing much consequential to do right now. Just glad the Boros deck isn't romping on us. Let's see. Some streamers that I have appreciated for their efforts include Rita Rabbit, Reed Duke, Lord Tupperware, Andrew Cuneo, Alias V, Scotty Nada, MTG Nerd Girl, Jim Davis MTG, Loading Ready Run, Jamie Topples, PVDDR, all the pros I like watching, Huey, Amazonian, Newmont, Autumn Lily, Nantuko Avatar, Mobius, Legend Vida. I don't know how he'd like me to say his name, so I just say Legend Vida, but, you know, somebody has a, yeah, Siggy. Of course, we're going to deadweight this instructor. Although, you know, we had the rat that would... maybe I shouldn't have said of course there. We actually had the stupid rat that was going to make it not want to attack anyway. Maybe I was just being a little paranoid to kill it so early. Oh, you know, I don't have... Am I not... Let me see if he's in my recommended channels. Sometimes there's people I ought to be following who I'm not, and I think Saffron Olive might be one of them. Yeah, what you all should do is tell me who I'm missing, and I'll start making sure I'm adding them to my list. So I just added Saffron Olive. That's really a 1-for-1. I don't mind that too much. And we got our land for the dowser. That's cool. Oh yeah, I did that by looking at my followed channels list. I certainly follow Ben S, but for some reason didn't show on my followed list, right? So now we got to decide whether we are going aggro and attacking here or just hanging tight. I'm going to hang tight because we have good tools to disrupt combat tricks. Like, we have great defenses against an attack from Boros in hand, so I'm going to play defensive and hope that Oppo has the tools to attack. Cordo calls. At some point we want to stop playing land for our quasi-duplicates, but I don't think it's at 5. We're going to play at least 6. What's the exact... Cordo calls... CORDOCALLS is not a Twitch channel. Sure, let's get Stream Daddy Gaming on my list. Oppo's got to be annoyed right now. Sorry, Oppo. This is important stuff. All right, so we're gonna dazzle. Dazzling on the mentor creature prevents the mentoring from happening. What do we want out of these? Don't think we want that one. Maybe we want some lifelink against. No, it's not too late. You mean for this to stop the mentor trigger? It totally works. Checks on. It checks at the start and the end. Against Boros, I kind of like keeping the child here. And then we'll see what they want to do about our little trick. And we have a second trick if they get tricky about the trick. Child seems just good enough against Boros to be worth keeping here. Yeah, that was my thinking. Child is a good instructor blocker. We did take a lot of damage that turn, despite the good play out of the dazzling lights. I'm gonna turn sideways here. Maybe should have done so before I played the Child of Night, but at some point we got to start attacking. So we're gonna try this. Is it worth saving it or bouncing the instructor? Trouble is, if we save it, then they direct current it again. I mean, we could save it, we bring it back down, and then they use the jump start to just kill it again. So I don't think we're ever going to... it's just going to eat 2 direct currents. That might be worth it. All right, I'm going to do it. Also, the surveil trigger helps. Let's check the top of our library a bit. Like, that's good. That's like drawing a card right there. Now with 2 of these, I'm gonna be risky again. Like, if they put a counter on the witness, I guess they have this though, but this is still good. Now I'm gonna leave it all back. Maybe I don't want to. I really want to. We really need to like press this dowser, I think. So we play these 2. They use direct current on this one. This is still available to trade with the instructor. This ends up being a 2/2. And then we're racing 2/2, 4/5. Don't know what's going on with these other 2 cards, or obviously what's on the top, but I'm going to be aggressive here. We'll see if this costs me against Boros, but it's in a tricky spot of where, do you beat Boros by super stabilizing, or do you beat Boros by getting them dead before they can get you dead? So I'm kind of aiming towards a race with Boros, which is not exactly where you want to be, but and now if they go in instructor, if they attack, we'll just go ahead and try and take out this lifelinker first. If this is a combat trick or whatever, we're in trouble, but if not, we're in a... Oh, come on, they got it. Yeah, that's big time trouble for our... All right, well, we're not dead yet, but that hurt. Yeah, they have no more good attacks. We can send in the Dowser and offer to trade for both, and then have a Darkblade agent. Maybe they bricked up here. If we attack with the Dowser and they kill the Darkblade agent, we could end up just losing. We go to 1. Again, though, you know, pressure or no pressure. Yeah, but that's fine too if they can't deal with the Darkblade agent, because then they attack in, we go to 4, we eat this, they go back up, but then they're in a pretty bad spot. Well, definitely running out agent. The fundamental question here is are we sitting back or not? And the trouble is, if we sit back, I think we're waiting to die. Oh, yeah, it becomes a 3-3. Okay, so then I have to sit back. Sorry, math is hard with Mentor. If we can find something to eat a 3-3, though, then we should definitely start attacking with the Dowser. Or I think... it's not definite. That's what I was debating. I think we should be... That's interesting. I think we did. We, didn't we deadweight this game? Or those... Yeah, it was this game. I think we got rid of another instructor somewhere. That's a terrible sign for us. But we're going to try to put this here and might even just pile on here so that if they have something like the +3, if they have 6 points of first strike by double blocking here, we still kill it. This also still kills through Take Heart. Yeah. It's not outflank. Yeah, if it's a true strike, we don't kill it. You're right. So is there so maybe I don't block for that, but like there is a bunch of other pump. If it's a sure strike, we don't win. But there's a lot of pump to play around. Do we play around it by double blocking here? This basically plays around a +2/+2 pump. Yeah, I don't think we can... we have to assume they're up to something here. All right, little help, please. Wow, that's so not what we needed. All right, well, we have a block now. Stroke not at its best against Boros. They often don't have many things to counter. We had a True Fire Captain and a Cosmotronic Wave as literally the only 2 spells we've seen from Oppo yet that could even be countered by a Stroke. Alright, I'm gonna hold on quasi-duplicate possibilities here. All right. Well, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. And we'll see if Night Veil Predator is enough to stall him out. All right. We talked about how many Night Veil Predators we could make. Let's find out. I'm going to play my island so we can stroke on the off chance that they find a big spell. Well, let's surveil. Dazzling seems like it'll be good, and we probably want to crab against that ground force. We can start attacking more if we get a crab down. So I think I like both of these. But we'll go with Dazzling on top. And I think we can attack. They don't have a block with the Charger. If they come back at us, we have block, Desperation block if we need to, and then we still have blockers on the ground. It would take something small and hasty to really threaten us through an attack here. So we're going to send one. After all, we only have 14 cards in library, and they're 28. We actually have to get them to 0 here. Yeah, 4-2 haste could be rough, but we can counter that. No, we have no plans. It's not devious plans, right? What is it? Devious cover-up. No cover-ups. Just literally never saw any. Yeah, quasi-duplicate number 2. I said I wanted 5 Night Veil Predators. Let's make it happen, people. And we knew it was going to happen there. It was our crab. Hi, crab. Yeah, maybe. I still want to be super careful, though. We're at 4. We can dazzle and still doesn't save the coil. Still doesn't save the Phantasm, unfortunately. Making it a 4/4 still dies, so we just gotta let it go. I don't know why y'all want me to make themes for a year and 3-month-old set or whatever, but I love the creativity. I know, but I'll wait till there is one. And a lobster's not a crab. I think the crabs would be pretty insulted if we started calling them lobsters like there's no difference. All right, well, we're going to do this again. Gonna dazzle this bodyguard, prevent the surveil. Guess we'll take another crab. They're mostly on the ground here, and we get to eat the Charger. So I'll take another crab. And then let's eat, Grandma. What do we want dead, though? I guess we got to take the goblin. Because this isn't targeted, so it will damage the... we kind of have to take the bodyguard, too. Maybe we just give up one of these predator tokens to this goblin. Really would like to kill the bodyguard too, though. But we can't kill the bodyguard without... like, we need to take... like, we have to kill this. We just have to kill the Charger. I guess we can just take the goblin. Alright, we'll do it this way. We're going to go to 2. We just have to go to 2. And it's dangerous. Yeah, we can put informant, but informant, the goblin flies is the problem with your informant on goblin plan. We're not dead to pump, I guess, yeah, because they could pump the bodyguard, but if they pump the bodyguard to 3, we're still alive. I'm going to risk that they don't have pump here. I think their plan was, I think we disrupted their plan with the lights, you know? Now everything is grounded. And I really want to start applying heavy pressure now. However, I need to leave 4 back so that if they play a haster, we're not just dead. And stroke that. Happy to find a target. Land, not super useful, but glad we found something to do with that stroke. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We attack with 2, and then then it's lethal next turn. Well, fair enough, but they need 2 because they've already used 1. I tend to only use 1 wave, so they need 2 waves, and also they need to like top deck it, and we're putting them on a 1-turn clock. So it generally only has no targets against Boros. So, or has low targets. Even there, you saw it eventually had one. Woo! All right. That was a nice win. We got blown out by last card in their hand, Trick, but managed to still stabilize and turn the corner. Yeah, in a sense, Disdainful Stroke is kind of like the opposite of Vapors. You want to main deck Vapors because to beat Boros, and you want to not main deck Stroke to not lose to Boros, but also there are other colors played, and yeah. Thanks, Steven. Yeah, we had to fade some tricks there, even on that very last turn. But they were tricks that they had to have just drawn, or they would have already used them. All right, we'll keep this. None of our real power plays, but a lot of early stuff we can do. I'm gonna start on gate though. Go into Mesmerist, and then Rat Imp on 3. There was definitely some risk in taking that attack from the Goblin. I mean, we were dead to Sure Strike, but again, they had to have drawn it right then and there, and I felt it was pretty safe to force them to have that. I've been using Untapped GG and oh, Thought Erasure, that's my card. Using my card against me. See what they take. Probably Imp. Usually Dimir deck does not want their hand, frankly, Thought Erasured, so I bet they take the Imp. Disappearance is too low power. I bet they won't bother with that. They'll take Dowser if they have no ability to deal with that on 5, or they'll protect their hand with the Imp. Oh, they just don't. There's interesting. I would think if they would take the Rat, they would rather take the Imp because it's much more powerful for me to look at their hand and take something than for them to choose something. Alright, I'm into the double mesmerist imp here. Yeah, it could be. They don't like a 1/1 sticking around to trade off with a poisoner, but... yeah, if they want to use real removal on the imp, I'm cool with that too. It's the kind of thing we would take out of their hand if we had a chance to untap and use the imp. Well, they clearly don't have vapors, or everything would be dead. Our own Darkblade. That makes me want to wait on imp activation. Maybe we draw another land next turn. We play Darkblade and we can Unexplained and sack their hand next turn. And here, if we have an attack and we don't really have blocks. So given that, I am going to just swing in, and they get a 1-turn window here to get some surveil and get a card off of their agent, because I'm not going to block their agent with ours on the presumption of surveil triggers. But hopefully if they spend their turn, you know, doing something to draw with their agent, we'll do the same on ours to disappear and get some value. Really want an untapped land off the top. Just so, there's their surveil. Darkblade's gonna get there. We knew that. Ooh, they really, I think they want this imp dead. Alright, they get a card, but we're gonna get a card. Even if it's just to disappear the Darkblade agent, it's worth it. Because we're going to draw. Yeah, we'll keep ourselves a predator. True, they could have had Dazzling Lights. Although, if they had played the Dazzling Lights just to prevent our draw, then they're using a full card to stop our draw, so it's still pretty good as well. They did have the Vapors. 2 for 2, no big deal. And we get to drop Predator. I'm in. Oh, perfect card for Oppo in the Watcher. Another card we got none of. Come on. Man, we missed out on some incredible commons. We have no Watchers in the Mist, no Deadly Visit, no Notion Rain. A lot of missing pieces in this deck. Yeah, no Artful Takedown. There's another one. No Devious Cover-Up. But you can see why. Yeah, we could have had a Capture Sphere, which I kind of loathe, but we'd be all right here. That's all right. We're going to find one of our Quasi-Duplicates and get it on. Sphinx is uncommon. I was specifically just mentioning literally commons that we, for whatever reason, couldn't seem to find. I do. It's you can Inventory's a little low. I've been doing the inventory side on my end to tally the inventory, but I'm pretty far along on getting my inventory counted. I'm pretty not far along on getting my inventory fully posted. Hey, there's another low rarity card we didn't get any of. You can have that point. We're gonna look for some surveil answers here. I'll go ahead and play a guild gate though. It gives us quasi duplicate and jump start on the same turn if we draw one. Oh yeah, no disinfo, no thought erasure, no discovery dispersal. Maybe we just drafted poorly. This is draft. I think we got really underwhelming packs. I really do. I think we were in a fine lane. I think we could have ended up in Boros and had also a fine deck, but the packs were just weak. We got baited by the Predator, but if you look at what we passed, I don't think we passed. Do you think we passed a better deck, Robert? Do you think that what we should have done? We have to go back and look at the draft and tell me what you would have done. Pack 1, pick 1, if not take the Predator, and then pack 1, pick 2, if not support the Predator with the good Predator support there, you know? Anyway, we'll continue to take 1 plunk from the Poisoner and look for some duplication. Yeah! We were just talking about you, quasi-duplicate. Now we have attacks. We really like the Predator. It has been instrumental in at least one of our wins, probably 2. The race is on. Main thing we don't want to see is 3 power in the air, because if they can't trade for one of these Predators, they should eventually get there, and I don't think Poisoner's going to get there in time. And here's why I don't like that barrier, right? It's just not... It didn't do enough for them. I really don't like running barriers if I can help it. But we're all in. No chump there leaves them dead to removal next turn if we had any. Not that we have any, but you know, theoretically. That smacks of a concession. Well, sometimes you don't get hooked up with the commons that you want, but your Predator and a couple of quasi-duplicates get you there anyway. Well, this is a funny 4-0. A lot of holes in this deck, but the power is there if you can find it. Let me take a quick bio break, refill my coffee, and we'll keep going. Let's try and get 7. Be right back. All right, we're back. 4-0, looking for 5. How's chat doing for you all? Fluff here is having issues. Anybody else? Keep this. All right, I'll go for the Mesmerist play. I really do like to turn 1 Imp and turn 2 Activate Imp and really disrupt an opponent's starting hand. But I'm going to go with the Mesmerist opening play here. You have... hold on a second. Now I'm kind of into just the Darkblade agent, especially with Boros not pressuring us here. Okay, remind me after the game. I'm not saying it's insane. I just value it at all, and it seems like others don't value it at all. Whereas I really do value early on plucking a card out of an opponent's hand. But I'm not willing to do it here when I can curve out with real threats. Sure. Sorry. We'll do it. We'll do it. Ooh, hello. Well, that gives us a couple things to do here. Weird that Oppo has kept and is Boros and not doing anything before Pack 3 picked 4? Not sure what we're talking about. Oh. I see. You're talking about something else. I thought you were talking to me. We could also Burglar Rat and hold up Stroke. But that's not realistic. We're just going to Imp and Rat.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
And they're running Maximized Velocity. I don't really respect this card very much. I don't think it does good work. But given that they kept... Man, this is interesting. Maybe we do need a Stroke. Like, what are they playing? Well, I'm going to start with an attack. You want to hold up Stroke, Nantuko? I really want to get this Imp go. I guess they have a fistful of cards. We'll get something with the Imp no matter what. All right, we'll hold up Stroke in case they try to 2-for-1 us with a wave or do something really nice. Not amazing, but strokeable. Let's do it. Ah, thanks, Mensch. Glad you liked the show. You could hold land for the Quasi. They discarded it to our Burglar Rat, actually. Let's start with an attack. Don't even have an attack that could, like... I don't want to use the duplicate yet. Maybe there is a world where we duplicate the Imp. Actually, that's not a... Like, you know what? I'm doing it. They got all these cards. I don't know what they're doing. But we can tear apart their hand next turn if we duplicate the Imp and still have an extra duplicate for later. So we're going hand destruction here. Yeah, Wave would be really bad, but I also thought they would have cast Wave last turn if they had it. Yeah, if they wave us, boy, it's a blowout. Cross your fingers. They didn't. We got lucky for now. I guess I'll play this gate. But let's go ahead and see what we got in here. We're gonna find out what's in their hand.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Let's take the Restorer, and they can have the Take Heart. We'll just attack with the Imp instead. Thank you for the sub. I didn't really think about token versus real. Maybe there's a slight edge to using token first, but they're not. It's not like they're bouncing anything. It's either dying or it's not. They did not mull. Not sure what they were thinking about this hand. Maybe they just have a lot of early plays and they were counting on drawing some. So you got this take heart. We could pull it from their hand now, but it only makes this a 1/5. Is that worth it? I'm gonna start with an informant, see what we got. I don't want to be mean, I want to win. What does that dazzling do for us? Dazzling actually counters the pump spell, so I'm going to keep that on top. For now, just going to send in the imp. And then next turn we'll attack with everything and have dazzling lights to counter the known take heart. Ooh, righteous blow. Yeah, you get that. And let's see, can I get it low enough? Oh, it's pretty big, so I guess the righteous blow gave the urchin a point of power I wasn't expecting. Well, I guess we can, sorry, I thought it made it a 5/5. Yeah, we can still dazzle it. Let's wait for the blocks, though. Yeah, with the dowser coming, we could dupe the mesmerist, but let's just dupe the dowser. Ah, the stack order, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, win next turn. I guess duplicating to try and win next turn also would be fine. Maybe our Oppo will scoop anyway, see what they found here. Risk factor. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take 4. Oh, did somebody, did I miss a... Did somebody use their channel points on a sale? Ah, there, sorry, there it is. I just missed it right there. It was in and of itself. Never mind. I wish that's not my other feedback I have for Twitch. Make it super clear to me when somebody has redeemed channel points. But here's your sale. And then I'll try to come up with a document or a command that lists all the lunchboxes. But we have Sesame Street, Beverly Hillbillies, A-Team, Thomas the Tank Engine, Junior Miss, Captain Astro, Wild Frontier, Battlestar Galactica, Super Friends, Empire Strikes Back. This is the stuff you can't see. Here, I'll do this. Oh, no, that's not. Yeah, here. And then on the other side, where you can't see, we have Walt Disney World, Laugh-In, Dragon's Lair, Hong Kong Phooey, Dr. Seuss, Return of the Jedi, Sesame Street, got a couple Care Bears, Miss America, and The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. Empire Strikes Back. We had a couple of those, right? Let's see. Let's go with and what do you want to kill? What do you want to take down, Nantuko? You get to kill a box as well. Although I guess this was still technically in the frame. Here, I'll do the one that was not. I guess that's in the frame. There's another one here that's not. Ooh, controversial. He's taken away Link, everybody. Replace Link with Luke. All right, 5 wins. And people thought par 4 was too high. Fool Auto asks, does my wife have any boxes she needs and can't find? We don't need any boxes. This has just been a casual collection over time that she's built through her thrift storing. Well, I'll take some credit as the pilot, but Night Veil Predator plus Quasi Duplicate has won us a couple of games, and then Night Veil Predator alone won us another one. So our rare is doing work too. I'm going to keep this, and I get to do my turn 2 imp this time. Oh yeah, forgot I had moved the cam. Let's get over here. James, I am content that my memes fall under fair use, and if they don't, and if somebody disagrees with me, they have to take a course of action that doesn't ruin me. It just lets me know and I get to react. So I feel like we're in fair use territory, and if anybody who owns the IPs disagrees, then it doesn't ruin me to respond to and resolve. All right, yeah, we don't have anything else to do. Let's check out what Oppo's got. Huh. Removal that's a ways off and pretty clunky, and we don't really care about, and we have Disdainful Stroke for. I guess we actually just take the Pass Wall or the Muse Drake. Muse Drake is also strokeable. I'm going to take the Pass Wall. Not the best Imp Cs ever, but man, I've had some good ones where it's like, oh, is that your disinformation campaign? Yes, I'll be taking that, please. Thank you. Well, the dead weight doesn't work on anything else we know about in their hand. I'm going to use it now. Not the most amazing target for a dead weight, but we know they have creature enhancements, and if we can just slow them down here, I think we'll turn the corner and... Yeah, that would have been a much better target, of course, but... So it goes. We're going to drop a crab. This means if they find land, they get a Muse Drake that we can't Disdainful Stroke, but I really want to Disdainful Stroke the Command the Storm anyway. find a land, we can Spinal Centipede and hold up Stroke. So that's my hope, is we find an untapped land. I have never forced Dimir once, Queen. Don't make me time you out. I like Dimir. I'm happy to be led towards it, like when you open a Night Veil Predator, but I have never forced. So, I mean, I could hold up the Disdainful Stroke for the Command the Storm, but if they want to use the Command the Storm on one of our 2 crabs, I'm actually kind of okay with that anyway. So yeah, I'm going to run out another crab and go shields down. I push back against the notion of force at all. I love playing Dimir in the format, but I do not force. I look for the best card in the pack. Yeah, exactly. I'm still, as Steven said, Shateri said, I'm hoping to find that untapped land so that I can go Centipede and hold up the Stroke. That's a fine trade. I'm cool with that. Now I could go with the Stroke, but I don't know why they're not attacking me with the Drake, for one thing. I'm going to just say no attacks and keep up the Stroke now. Now we know if they have a 4. Stroke ends up being useful against Izzet. I think we'll find a target, no problem. Yeah, but by the time we missed out on those commons, we were already locked into our colors. We weren't going to switch at that point. So we just got unlucky, but that doesn't mean I forced anything. It's semantics. We're just, you know, I get what you're saying. I know I love myself some Dimir. Now are we holding lands to pitch for duplicate? Maybe so. I'm going to start with the Centipede. And maybe the Crater Maker will go for trying to kill it. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if the Centipede dies. Yeah, again, we're just talking about semantics, Queen. I know you are successfully identifying my love of Dimir and my tendency to draft it over other colors. I just wouldn't put the label forced on it. That's all. Not straight Dimir, but boy, have I drafted my share of Esper in RNA, huh? Put this Phantasm down. Maybe they'll be interested in shooting Phantasm down. I have had bad luck with Boros, but of course I'm not going to use that as a reason not to play Boros. Boros tends to have a bunch of interchangeable parts, and you just need to draw them in a good casting cost sequence, and that's where I felt super unlucky. I would have reasonable Boros decks, but just, whoops, no 2, or oops, your 1-drop showed up on 3, you know. I may have said some dramatic things, but I mean, you can look at my recent offline history and see the Boros deck that I ran up to 7 wins. Actually, it might have been on the free-to-play 2 account, which I don't bother tracking much. I don't know. It might be there. All right, we're going to go ahead and send in the Centipede. I don't know what this is, but I'll trade Centipede off for either of their 2 ground creatures here. My top 5, I had to think about that. And we could throw this on a Phantasm, and then that might tempt them into using the Crater Maker on it. But I actually just like making a big crab, I think. This can get through more things, including this Muse Drake if they decide to start using it defensively. Still not happy quasi-ing any of these. All right, they're going aggro now. Trying to get some extra damage in the air. Understandable. We do need some air support, which basically means our Predator. That's the other thing. We did not get any real good flyers in this deck. But maybe we can start coming back the other way here. Dowser is something I'll start quasi-duplicating because we can maybe win a race with it. But they effectively have 1, 2, 3 points of extra power and extra flying over the course of a few turns, a couple turns. So it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like they have 12 unblocked damage over the next couple of turns here. So we really got to turn on the afterburners or find our flying defense. Disdainful Stroke mana is offline here. But we'll have it back next turn. If we draw a land, we can double duplicate. Or if we draw anything we're willing to pitch to the duplicate, we can double duplicate. Which may be what we have to do to beat the race they're putting on here. This only goes to creatures, so they can't face us with that. And we will go ahead and double quasi the Dowser. I'm not even really doing math here. We're going to copy the biggest things we can and see if we can race Oppo's flying. If this isn't a card, if this is just... I mean, they have to throw away something to re-altitude anyway. So if the top is blank and all they have is altitude, I think we get there. We certainly have the crackback win, so they need to find something that plus altitude does 7 here, and right now they have 6. Could still use something. How about a bounce spell? Bounce spell would be incredible. We have how many? Like we have dazzling would be okay too, but that unexplained disappearance would be excellent, or just a Night Veil Predator. I cannot believe we have won 5 games with this deck. I look at like our defense against flying is almost non-existent. Well, that doesn't help us. Can Can we swing away with everything? We need, if we swing away with everything, they need to block 2 things to not die. And then if they keep, yeah, I guess they kind of win here. If we send in with everything, I think we're just dead. Because they keep their leapfrog, they keep their crater maker, and they can attack us for 6 next turn. So basically we send in everything. I guess we send in everything because we need them to block either leapfrog or crater maker, and they can't just block 1. So maybe we're not dead. But then we don't have like any defense on the ground except for this, which maybe is enough. All right, well, all we have is the attack. So let's attack with everything. They need to block 2 things, which will take out at least the leapfrog or the crater maker, thus preventing them from having the 6 that I saw. And I think it ends up with them having not enough. We'll see. So right now they're showing 5. We'll see if they can find another point here. Yeah, it's the density and quality. The quality of the mill deck and the density with which one experiences it on Arena that are the big problems. I don't like losing to mill, but I recognize that it's my dumb human brain being psychologically weird and not rational. I mean, it's a win or a loss, right? This is what I've been waiting for, and I think we got it, though. We beat I'm a luck sack, but I'm feeling like the luck sack right now to be 6-0 with this deck. Nobody expected 6-0 with this deck. Not me, not anybody. I know, right, Robert? Well, let's try 7-0 with this deck. Let's get really crazy and just not even lose with this deck. Man, I find the metagame annoying in Standard right now. I said so yesterday, I'll say it again today. The cat oven combo is just so clunky to even play against. I just hate even playing against it. It's so annoyingly grindy. I'd rather play mill than the cat oven deck at this point. Maybe I will, Raptor. Maybe I should just build a deck that annihilates oven decks. Yeah, it's the clickiness that really bugs me. All right. Here's our weak ass. Look at this. Look at this motley crew. Like, you're not happy really with any of these. I mean, the crab rose for everybody. But, like, look at this. This is our 6-0 deck with the Mesmerist Shade Rat Crab opener. But we're going to keep it. Oppo has mulligan. That's not bad for us either. Yeah, Hushbringer also a good thought. Although it just stops the ETB drain. It doesn't stop the cat engine from working, right? If I always play rat on 2 if there's nothing else to do. I'm not gonna like not play a 2-drop to save the rat, but if you can, saving the rat for later in the hand tends to be better. Let's attack first. Yeah, they can cycle the cat as a blocker, but it doesn't end up being like a win condition, sure. I'm gonna go with the agent here. Shade is another one you'd like to wait until later. It's nice if you can play the Shade with, 2, 4, 6 open mana so that it can actually defend itself immediately. Well, that's sure suspicious, but I'm going to go ahead and make him have a trick, and then we'll play another creature that has to make him have a trick. We got to keep making him have something and eventually get Amara to stop doing her thing. So, and I don't have Surveil anyway, so it's not like this is going to be much more than a 2-3 for right now, so we're going to eat a trick here. All right, that's interesting and makes me maybe want a Veiled Shade and leave up the Dazzling. Veiled Shade, leaving up Dazzling and keeping back both. The Dart can instant speed kill something, but yeah, I'll do that. And we're gonna do this and keep both back to block. Presume that they're going to use the Dart on one, but then we Dazzle to get the other. I don't know, we'll see here. Or maybe they just decide not to attack because they don't want to trade Amara off. That's fine too. This is why I like a crab. It gives us a block on things like the Cavalier. Stroke is a little bit late. There'll be other targets though, and we're going to get the crab down now while we can. Hope they end up with one card left in hand that next turn we can rat with Stroke up. Maybe we draw a land and we can have all 3 available if we draw an island specifically. All right. Still, they only want to send that one. We do have a bounce spell we could eventually use, but this is not great now. We may just have to trade for the Cavalier, but then we just start losing to the 2/2s. So I'm going to take this one and see if we can find an answer to the small stuff before we... Like, maybe we wait till next turn and we Dazzling Lights it so that at least we have both of our creatures back. Let's take it here and try and solve this problem next turn. Ooh, this Informant would be nice. But we're going to rat and keep up Stroke and Lights.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
I would agree with that, Nantuko. I think people err on the side of keeping. I do, probably. But I don't know. I think I mulligan pretty well. You have to take some risks. Everybody needs help off the top of their library to win a Magic game, even if you got a nice opener. Trouble is we can't really block into the open Dart mana or we don't accomplish what we wanted to. So I'm going to actually just take this again. Hopefully we catch something with a disdainful stroke right here, and then get some extra help to deal with the Cavalier through a dart. All right, there's the island. Now we can informant and have both stroke and lights available. And we start to have enough power that we can threaten the Conclave Cavalier even through the dart. So that's important. Imp, no longer good here, and we don't need an island, so we're going to ditch both of those on the Surveil. So we got to put it all on, and then if they 3 damage any of these, we still have enough behind to kill the Cavalier. And we put them in a spot where they have to act first here, and then we get to Dazzling after. Dazzling actually doesn't do much here. Well, I guess it does, because 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we could actually pump and save the Dazzling and just let the Rat and the Mesmerist die. But I'm going to go ahead and do it here. You just have to hope they don't have anything. If they have something up here, if one of these 2 cards messes up our plan, we could easily lose right now with a well-timed combat trick from Oppo. Duplicate. We don't really have a card we love to copy yet, but we're going to totally keep that. I maybe we'll go ahead and duplicate a crab here. It's just so good on this board. And then we still have this. Oh, we don't have the stroke up, though. That's the problem there. If we want to duplicate now, we don't have a stroke. And if they have really good attacks, though. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy a crab. I think the having a 2/5 on D here is more important than holding up stroke mana. Got to do crab. I'd like the Surveil, but at 2 power, it threatens to eat every single one of the creatures Oppo has. So I think we have to make a 2/5 here. Yeah. There's a lot of things that might slip through by leaving our shields down on stroke, but you got to do what you got to do. Now we're in serious trouble to the activated ability of the champion, unless we find our want to find our deadweight now. Kill this champ. More crabs. Yeah, this is gonna get out of hand. But now I kind of want to leave the stroke up, because we're right now preventing them from attacking. No, we don't need to go hunting. Like, what are they going to do? If they come in, they attack with everything. I mean, if you mean hunting for the dead weight so we don't lose to champ. Yes, but I think we can wait a turn. I'm going to wait. It's a Selesnya deck. They got to have something strokeable for us to pick off coming up. And if we get any kind of land that comes into play untapped, we can have crab and stroke ready. We can't let this go too much. We don't need to search for it. We're gonna get the dead weight right off the top. Do we chump when the rat can actually trade with the 1/1s? No cube streams planned, Niner. Never say never, but nothing planned. We could also just take 6 here, but then do we open up? We only have 3 blockers, and I think we just lose to the attack next turn. So yeah, we got to do this. Hopefully we pick off something with stroke here. And they go for that instead of, no, they're just gonna do that. Well, we can play Dark Blade, still have the 2/3 plus, which is really what the crab is doing to hold off the 2/2s. So this still holds off the 2/2s, and we get the stroke. So we'll do that. We are getting to the point, though, that we have to just duplicate the informant to try and find our dead weight. I think we're just in serious trouble here is the bottom line. It's almost like we're getting the result we might expect from a Dimir deck without the powerful commons and removal you come to expect from the guild. Yeah, there is a threaten of Death Touch too that's nice. They don't know we don't have another Dazzling Lights at the ready or a Surveil Bounce spell. Practically at scoopable territory here. I just think it's very unlikely that we can find a way to stabilize enough to win this. Hello, Tupperware and rating viewers from Tupperware's stream. Awesome to have you here. Hope Tupperware had a great stream for you today. We are 6-0 with what we all felt was a pretty marginal Dimir deck, and now we're starting to face the beats that kind of we expected. We have to chump with this. No, we can't chump with the informant because we actually want to duplicate it to surveil. So but if we chump with a crab, that's lousy too. I think we just have to chump with the informant or even the Darkblade agent. But if we find surveil, if we find instant speed surveil, we actually have an answer for this attacking champ. I think we're pretty unlikely to win here, but we're going to block the informant and hope we find some natural surveil. But I think we're just kind of dead. Trying to find our way to 7 wins, starting 6-0, but now facing some very nice decks. That ain't no surveil. I guess I'll make him do it. Like, I can throw out the crab and make him do it, but this is effectively over. For Tupperware viewers who don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Spain. I co-created Limited Resources with Marshall Sutcliffe before starting a 7-year stint at Wizards of the Coast, where I worked in Magic R&D for about 5 years and on the Arena team for about 2 years. And now I'm out of Wizards and doing a bunch of different stuff, among them streaming in the mornings Pacific time. Thanks, Tupperware, for the... Glad you liked the LR appearance. And in my spare time, I'm a rat burglar. Man, we are just need, like, give us some instant speed surveil and we can actually do something here. Because Oppo seems to just want to go all in on champ instead of going wide and kind of getting us. I don't know how we can beat a million 1/1s on the go wide plan. But I continue to feel like we need to just chump. Yes, we're a meme channel. Here's why I'm the rat burglar. This is the OG meme on the stream.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
We play that whenever we get a rat burglar around here. Yeah, we're pretty much at scoop, but they don't seem to be willing to go wide yet, so I'm gonna give it another draw. I want to get something with disdainful stroke. Come on, something big. Give me something to stroke, and then I'll feel like I can scoop. No? Child of Night. Well, there's a new chump for you. We could Child of Night. We could duplicate Child of Night. That's not very good, though. I think we have to duplicate now, though. Duplicate the crab. Unfortunately, now we've shown them we have no cards. Maybe they'll figure out they can just go wide and get us. I mean, we can't block any of the 1/1s. There's 7 of them. So we're already taking 7 from that. And then we have 4 blocks. And so something else gets through for 8, 9. Come on, Oppo. Just do something to make me scoop so we can get on to trying to get to 7 wins in the next game. Nope. They're going to keep taking it one abyss attack at a time. I was thinking about the lifelink from the chump, but I really think having the 2 power and higher than 3 or higher toughness is important against these too much. But also, I think it all doesn't matter. The Oppo's playing it especially patiently, but we're basically dead. Although, one-time dealer, all right. Thing is, I don't even know. I just have no idea how we win from here. I'm almost doing this out of curiosity now. Like, how much longer is Oppo going to go wide before just pulling the trigger? No, we don't. Although, interestingly, like, yeah, that would break Oppo to lose all 9 of the tokens that they've got out of pure value from the Ladev Champion and Amara. You know, right? It's funny, but, like, Vapors would be an 0 for 1. Technically. What you got, Oppo? Doing the math? We're just going to sit around blocking till this is over. I'm just saying, I'm saying from a technical standpoint, it's interesting that such a powerful play would actually be technically an 0 for 1. In terms of actual full magic cards used to create the situation. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, they can, if they get it to 11, we can't even try the everything block trick. And then we'd be dead anyway. We'd lose all our creatures. Like, we really need to find a Surveil answer that gives this thing Death Touch and allows us to kill the champ so that we can then lose to an overwhelming horde of weenies. Like, it's really something else. But I believe we're going to draw. I mean, better than what 0 for 1? I'm just saying what it is. Yeah, but he didn't spend any cards, therefore it's an 0 for 1. All right, I'm done. Like, I think if we had the Surveil trigger this turn, maybe we have an out, but let's move on. All right, we finally took a loss with this deck. I blame the Tupperware raid. No, I don't. Happy that y'all are hanging. But let's see if we can find one win in our next 2 matches with this deck. I'm just being technical. I think, if anything, my joke about Vapors being an 0 for 1 against 9 tokens is more a conversation starter than an actual claim about, you know, what is a 1/1 lifelink token in percentage of a card? Is it, you tell me. Yeah, we'll keep this. We need to find another island for our Predator, and we don't have anything to do on 2, which is unfortunate, but we're going to keep our Predator hand. So, I mean, if you want to get super technical about it, what is a 1/1 lifelink token worth in terms of card percentage, and then multiply that times 9, and then you get how many for 1 it would have been. I like Agent as a 3-drop better than the Shade, but really would like to find a 2 next turn, ideally. I don't think it's half a card. Like a third of a card, maybe? So maybe it's a 3 for 1? Cool, we did find a 2. With this hand, I think we'll go a little controlling and offer this trade. And it's Boros. We might be trading for a trick, but that's fine too. We just want to trade. Trade for cards. Nice. Love me a Darkblade Agent with an unexplained disappearance. No island off the top. They're stuck on land, though. Gonna see what they want to do about this agent attack. If they start chumping, we're just gonna let them chump. We have disappearance if they want to get tricky. It's not how I want to use the disappearance, but yeah, I will here.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Thank you for the sub, appreciate that. And against Boros especially, we're gonna ditch the stroke and look for our island to get this Night Veil Predator going. All right, well, that's one way to get your 7th win. Oppo giving up, being a bit mana screwed. That's a little hasty, Oppo. You should let me present a real threat before giving up on that one. But we did it, folks. 7-1. I'll take it. Just like everybody predicted, yeah. Phantasm got to 5 counters. Yes, we attacked with it once. Thank you, Steven. Open some guild packs here. Well, it's 11:30. We got a little time before my usual sign off. It's Wednesday. We could play some Brawl, or I could go draft and play the draft offline. I'll pull it. I have my suspicions, but you never know. You never know. Brawl or draft. And while that vote goes, I'm going to go to Soapbox, and thank my YouTube viewers for hanging out with us today. Appreciate it. Hope you liked that one, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.